Good day, hi-ho kids, and welcome to our today's discussion. For today, our topic is still all about conjunctions. And again, conjunctions are also called joiners because it connects words, phrases, and clauses. We were done talking about coordinating conjunctions last time, so for today, we are going to talk about subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions connect and join together a sentence or an independent clause and a subordinate clause or dependent clause. Now let's have a review about independent and dependent clause. When we say independent clause, it has a complete thought, which means it can stand alone. Also, independent clause are our complete sentences. And when we say dependent clause, it does not have a complete thought, which means it can't stand alone. Subordinating conjunctions has two functions. First, it bridges two ideas. And also, it makes the readers know which among two ideas are more important. This kind of conjunction has 5 classifications. We have cause, concession and comparison, condition, place, and time. For the cause, here are the examples. For concession and comparison, here are the examples. For condition, here are the examples. For place, we only have 2 examples. And last, we have time. Now let's talk about subordinating conjunctions in sentences. There are 2 ways on how we can put subordinating conjunctions in sentences. First, we can put it before the independent clause. Also, you can put it after the independent clause. Let's have some examples. Here are some sentences wherein we place the subordinating conjunctions before the independent clause. Example number 1. Since December 1930, Filipino has been the national language. For this first sentence, our subordinating conjunction is since. Example number 2. Even though she is sick, she still went to work. For our second example, our subordinating conjunction is even though. Now let's talk about the dependent and independent clause in these sentences. For our first sentence, we have here since December 1930. And that is our dependent clause because that is not the complete sentence. And our independent clause is Filipino has been the national language. For our example number 2, our dependent clause is even though she is sick. And our independent clause is she still went to work. And also, whenever you put the subordinating conjunction before the independent clause, make sure to put a comma after your dependent clause. Now let's have subordinating conjunctions after the independent clause. Example number 1. Filipino has been the national language since December 1930. Example number 2. She still went to work even though she is sick. For our example number 1, our independent clause is Filipino has been the national language, and our dependent clause is since December 1930. For our second example, our independent clause is she still went to work, and our dependent clause is even though she is sick. If you are going to put the subordinating conjunction after the independent clause, no need to put any commas. And also, for you to spot the dependent clause, it always starts with your subordinating conjunction. For example, since December 1930, and even though she is sick. Now let's have the points to remember in this lesson. Conjunctions are called joiners. And you can put subordinating conjunctions before or after the independent clause. That is all for today. Thank you and goodbye, Hi-Ho Kids.